Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you, sir, once again. Uh, can I have the first slide? Yes. So, this is really a dream coming to reality, and the dream is of a very visionary person who happened to be one of the chairman of the Planning Commission, who just narrated to us that when he was a very junior bureaucrat and the NICVD was in its inception years, so he would always thought that beside NICVD there has to be a center for prevention of heart diseases. So from his long journey in bureaucracy, and then he reached to the top, and eventually at some stage he became the Planning Commission. So with collaboration of AFIC and Planning Commission, Alhamdulillah, this project has become a reality. This stands for Center of Excellence for Preventive Cardiovascular Research and Development. The name NEPCARD has been coined actually in a flash of a moment by the worthy and the only one, General Sohail Aziz, sitting there presenting the concept paper. He was told that this is, so the name was NICARD, and he changed it there and then to NEPCARD because he was told that you can't make an institute within an institute. So this probably will how it would look like in future, inshallah, once it is built up. So, but it's a very long story. It's a more than 4 or 5 years story of hard work involving many of our senior cardiologists and esteemed executive directors, ranging from Farhan Tayyib, Sohail Aziz, now Afshin Iqbal, and obviously I'll be thankful to all our rest of the cardiology colleagues later on once I go through the presentation. So as you can see, the preventive and treatment protocols, all we follow is obviously from the West. We all know that. And there's a dire necessity to have an indigenous community-based research. So probably prevention has to be presented as a preferred approach, and then do find out the exact cardiovascular burden in the society. Non-availability of this research center, as you know, has resulted in this rise of NCDs, especially cardiovascular diseases. And there is also a lack of collaborative research effort among the very great cardiac institutes of this country. What help this will give us, hopefully? So we will have some translational research outputs, economic therapeutic procedures, and some guidelines. Hopefully we will be able to pass on to the Ministry of Health to be implemented for the whole of the country. As you all know, Pakistan is facing burden of non-communicable diseases, especially cardiovascular diseases that you can see. Non-communicable, just 1 or 2 slides. What are exactly non-communicable? So these are the main brunt of it, and some of the smaller groups. This is how world see it in terms of mortality. This is how it is in Pakistan, slowly and everly rising. So what are the objectives of NEPCARD? So one would be community-based preventive cardiovascular research in this disease. Then establish these linkages, which we have already. I'll just show them in a slide. Then act as a think tank to make a health policy. And then to translate into tangible services. And then impart skills and develop expertise and capacity building of all the cardiac related people, eventually to have national registries and database. So in terms of linkages, we were very lucky to have collaboration of one of the very renowned public health university of the country. These are some of the undertakings which are going on. This collaboration is for the last 2-3 years. Now, this is something which is related to all of my colleagues who are sitting here, and this was started again by, must appreciate General Sohail Aziz. So now, with the help of all of these institutes, very thankful to NICVD, the biggest obviously and the oldest in the country, very helpful to us. We have been collaborating. There are already 2 studies simultaneously being conducted. I'll just show them in a short while. Very good hard work by Professor Shahadat here, then good hard work by the WAC in collaboration. Professor Rana was very helpful. Hamid Saeed Saab, very helpful. Professor Harun, obviously not to forget. Then now Bilal Muhyiddin Saab, and this team, Madam Amber before, and the team now, Dr. Sabur, yeah. RIC, Anjum Saab, very helpful. Our center, Cardiac Center, and then as you can see, Professor Naeem, Peshawar is very supportive, and we are in collaborating, multiple online meetings. Balochistan, Jalal Achakzai Saab has been very cooperative, and he's been very helpful in conducting these studies as well. And then two in the very top. So this is coming up. This is almost commissioned in Gilgit. This one, sorry. And hopefully this is going to start work very soon. But Dr. Zulfikar in Gilgit, the consultant cardiologist, is already on board with us, and he's part of the study. Similarly for Skardu, one of our trainees is a cardiologist now, and he's also very helpful, and he's conducting some studies into the community and clinical for us. Then we managed to get hold of almost all known medical colleges of the country, had multiple online meetings with them, some of the representation, and we have given them two studies. The fourth year medical college students are now working on them and going into the community, collecting the data. And this is the third phase now. Hopefully in the next quarter we are going to receive the data, which we are going to then study, and then, as I said, once it is studied, give our findings to the Ministry of Health. In terms of international linkage, we have been very lucky and to have this Royal College of Physicians Edinburgh collaboration with us. Professor Adil is a great public health expert. He's Pakistani based in UK, now moved on to Qatar. He's advisor to the, I think, the royal family or King of Qatar on public health, but he's still a member of NHS Scotland Global Health, and we have managed to get a collaboration with them. And the purpose of the would be research and the innovation and applied intelligence, but they are going to help us in getting better research tools and understanding of these cardiovascular diseases. Pana, not to forget this, it's a very old organization, almost part and parcel of the old guard of the AFIC. They are very active health awareness society. That's an executing arm of AFIC. They conduct community-based research, and they do very active in seminars, workshops, and symposias. This would how it would look like at the end. This is at the moment. And then we have an advisory council as well. We have a board of governors, and the secretary health would probably be the chair of the board of governors, with all the key stakeholders. Hopefully all the Pakistan societies, especially cardiac societies, cardiothoracic, intervention and all, they will all be part and parcel of the board of governors, at least their presidents. These are the studies. So what we did was, this was a pilot study. This was localized to our area, and then what we did was these two studies. This was shared with all the cardiac hospitals, the one I showed before, and at the moment we are in the third stage of, and it is data is being collected on the parameters which we have given, and I must admit all of the cardiac institutes are very helpful with us, and we are in regular contact with each other. This is the study which is being shared with medical colleges, and at the moment medical students are working on it. These are the two studies which we are going to propose studies. So this is how probably it will look like. Baseline research, then we would have basic research, imaging, molecular, pharmacodynamics, patch clamp, applied research, preventive cardiology, and hopefully we do have a very robust preventive cardiology department in AFIC, luckily, but we are going to take it a step further get our own faculty trained abroad as well, and hopefully then we have a clinical trial unit. It is being in the process of being recognized by DRAPE, but once it is done, all the studies will be conducted through this unit. Translational research department, strategy. So this is how it would eventually look like. And so in the end, I once again actually, I'm very thankful to all the cardiologists of cardiac societies, cardiologists who are working in the National Cardiac Institutes of across the country, and they have been very helpful, very forthcoming, and we do hope that inshallah, this has already been approved by the federal government. PSDP fund has been allocated, and very soon the work on the structure will start. The studies and the research job has already been going on for the last 2 years, and it was again once again important to mention General Suhail Aziz, General Farhan Tayyab, General Afshin. Without their support, probably this would have not moved on. Thank you so much.